Hey, what's up guys? Ripley here. We're finally back and we're bringing back Pro Tactics. Before we get into anything, I just want to make a couple announcements regarding this series. I've been listening to all your feedback and I'm happy to announce that we're going to be splitting up Pro Tactics into a 3-part series. I will continue doing the basic tactics and technique videos to help you improve your game and your knowledge. Then I'm going to create operator overview videos for every operator in the game, and continue to do so with all the DLC ops added in the future. Lastly, I'm going to be doing map breakdown videos to go over every map and hopefully teach you guys some new things that you don't already know. I promise the quality of all the new videos will be Pro Tactics quality, as will the level of detail in the commentary. Well, that's it for all the announcements that I have. I look forward to uploading the new videos in the near future. So let's get to what you came here for. Today we're going to be talking about pre-peeking. Welcome to Pro Tactics, and let's get started. So, pre-peeking, if you don't know already, is a bit of a dirty trick. Basically, you attempt to get a shot on players as they're running out of the spawn point, hoping to catch them off guard. To do this properly, you need to learn where the spawn points are and find a cheeky view. Most players don't expect this unless they've learned their lesson, but people forget easily and are eager to rush straight to the building to get the game started. Lots of people forget the game starts once your feet hit the ground after you spawned. I'm just going to show you guys some spots on a few different maps that you can use. So this bakery runout works pretty well. You want to do this right as the round starts and maybe wait 1 second into attack phase. Make sure you tear down and break the window beforehand, so all you have to do is run out, check the market, and get back in. Runouts can be super risky and you're likely to get killed. It's a bit of a gamble, but can be worthwhile if you get a couple kills off of it. This back alley runout works exactly the same way. Run outside, blow a couple rounds in their face, and get back in. Here's a couple peeks for the dock spawn. This one's super risky because they can come out of one of two sides here, as you can see. If you want to create kind of an odd angle here, you can break the barricade a little bit high, and then stand on the table like this. This might make it a little bit harder for them to get a straight headshot in case they do see you. Let's move on to Chalet and I'll show you some points to pre-peek there. A little advice for peeking: make sure you know when to back off. Don't get greedy and hope to kill the whole team. Maybe get 1 or 2 picks and then back off. Or if they start shooting at you, back off and then don't peek again. You'll be much more useful alive during the round than dead. So this is a nice place to peek the campfire spawn point on Chalet. A lot of times people like to run up that hill over there. You can back up a little bit and make yourself harder to see as well. Here's a peek from Office out onto the cliffside spawn point. Sometimes people like to run up this little hill over here, or out from behind these trees. That's where you can expect your enemies. You can peek lakeside and front yard from library windows. Here's a little technique I like to use for distraction. Break a couple windows and bounce back and forth between them. This cuts the chances of them spotting you right away in half, because now they have to look at 2 windows. Make sure you use this in other places too. Be creative. Here's a couple more peeking spots on Chalet that you can use. These spots aren't great to peek right at the beginning of the round because you don't really see anybody running right out of the spawn, but you can use them for late peeks in the round if you want to, at your own risk. Here's something I wanted to show you briefly. I wanted to include this technique in case you guys didn't know about it already. What you do is you hit a window barricade twice at the bottom like this. The attackers can't see the window has been broken, and this allows you to vault straight out the window for a nice surprise. This is pretty risky, but it works well if you're using Pulse and have somewhat of a pre-visual to where the enemies are and what you're jumping out into. There are lots of other places on other maps where you can use this as well. Let's move on to Oregon now. Here's a nice run out for the construction site spawn point. This one's a little bit risky because you need to go prone so you can see the enemies properly and get a good shot. If you don't see anybody there, make sure you hurry up and get back inside in case they spawn a junkyard. You wouldn't want to get shot in the back. Here's a peek I like to use from the showers. This one requires a little bit of patience because it takes a little while for the enemies to run around from the street spawn point, but generally they always come this way. You can even back up into the shower to get a better view. Here's another peek from the showers onto the junkyard spawn point this time. This one can be pretty hard for them to see you until you start firing rounds off. Here's a peek from master bedroom onto the street spawn point. They usually come running out from behind that gate over there. This one's a little bit difficult because of the obstruction of that railing, as you can see. What you can do to get around this is break the barricade up high like we did on Cafe, then get over up on the bed and scoot over as far as you can to get a good view of them running out of the gate. This also gives you a nice angle to peek from and might make it a little bit more difficult for them to get a headshot on you. Here's another patience peek onto the construction site. I like this one during the daytime because it's super hard to see you in this window because of the satellite dish right there. To finish up, I'll show you guys some sneaky stuff you can do from Garage. The point is, peeking is risky, but it can benefit you and your team if you're smart about it and have good aim. Play around with it and practice in casual as much as you can. Use the distractions I talked about and maybe come up with your own. This game can be very psychological, and that's one of the things I love the most about it. Play smarter, not harder. This pretty much concludes this episode of Pro Tactics, so I hope you guys learned something. As always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.